welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Now it's Adult Learners Week, and in celebration of this annual event, we're going to hopefully inspire you to get out there and try out new activities or just learn something new, no matter how old you think you might be getting. My guests today are Bollywood Queen singer and songwriter Indiraa to talk about her experience with learning. And we also have marketing and business growth expert Monica Abraham from Local Line Marketing, who'll be giving advice to our viewers who are thinking of starting a new business venture, whether big or small, but think they're too old to do it. And I'll be sharing my own wisdom on getting into the right frame of mind to go back to studying or to try something new with our very own motivator, Coach Chris Browne. Let's give us a wave, Chris. But first, let's meet Head of Family and Learning from the Adult Learners Week organisation, Susanna Chambers.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, thank you. Yes, you?
So good to have you here. I'm very well, thank you. Interested in learning what this is all about. Can you tell us more about it, first of all?
Yeah, well, it's certainly exciting stuff. Adult Learners Week is a campaign that NIACE oversees. It's very much about inspiring people right the way across the nation to engage in adult learning. As you just said, never too late to engage in adult learning, always something new to learn. Adult Learners Week is a campaign that was set up in 1992 by NIACE. So obviously, last 23 years it's been around. It's actually relatively new compared to the lifetime of our organisation. NIACE, the National Institute of Adult Continuing Education, was set up in 1921. Wow, okay. So relatively speaking, it's quite a new campaign, but since 1992, it's been replicated by at least 50 other countries internationally. Brilliant. Such is the success and the popularity of it.
Now, how is the campaign actually going? You've seen a lot more people getting back into education and trying different things?
Absolutely, and really, there's never been a more important time for that. If you think about the economy, if you think about all the messages in the media about skills shortages, and particularly in terms of the current administration with the government, in terms of skills shortages, apprenticeships, vocational education, lots and lots of opportunities, more so than ever, for people to get back into learning if they've had a break, or even just diversify different types of learning, perhaps.
What would you say are the main concerns that people have, though, to get back into this?
I think it varies. I think first of all, certainly with our family learning provision, where we work with parents and carers, and their child is the motivator really for them to actually get back into learning, in terms of them helping with homework, for example. Very often those parents or carers, they may have had a poor experience themselves at school. Okay. So actually, in terms of that underlying fear that may have laid dormant for many, many years, and actually part of that process of going back to learning is overcoming that memory of a bad experience. So that could be one barrier.
So it runs quite deep sometimes as well. Absolutely. Then it's not just about learning again. It's
absolutely, and I think
dealing with the past as well.
Very much so, and I think very often again people underestimate just what a transformational journey this can be for many people. Next week there will be the National Awards ceremony for National Adult Learners Week, and certainly on the basis of last year I can say that the stories that you hear of many of the learners are just absolutely incredible. The barriers that they've overcome, the enthusiasm, the passion, and of course the ability to inspire others to actually perhaps start on that journey themselves.
How do you feel when you see stories like that? It's like
absolutely. Well, it's just absolutely fantastic. And what's really striking always is that very often it only takes that one first step for somebody to dip their toe in the water, have a go, and then it can just build momentum. And before they know it, their life can be changed very often. And that's not just limited to one particular part of the demographic. Lots of different groups of people, all saying how wonderful, how transformational that journey has been for them.
So if people do want to get back into learning, what would be the first step that you'd recommend for them?
Okay, well, certainly, one source of advice would be the National Career Service Advice Line. There's a national number for that, but equally, if people imminently want to tap into one of their local or regional events, all the information about the Adult Learners Week events are on the Adult Learners Week website. So there's a web address for that, and that's a great opportunity to actually get stuck in, have a go at some activities that perhaps perhaps on the face of it, one wouldn't think, oh yes, I'll have a go at that. But lots of variety there, lots of opportunities to get involved with that. And then, of course, there's always your classic approach in terms of visit your local FE college, contact your local adult and community learning service. You know, lots and lots of different routes to get back into learning.
That's brilliant.
But certainly Adult Learners Week is a great
It's exciting.
first step.
It's an exciting time. Susanna, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for explaining everything to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so don't go away because now we have the news with the lovely Helena. Hello, Helena. How are you?
See, I'm good.
So, Adult Learners Week.
I know, Adult Learners Week, which is really exciting.
Have you ever tried to learn something new?
I love
in your
learning.
mature years?
Absolutely love learning.
What's the latest thing?
I'm always reading. I'm always reading,
that's
I'm always
nice.
looking at new things, and I think the great thing about Adult Learners Week is that there are so many different snapshots of different things, from Tai Chi to maths to computers to anything you want, chemistry. There's something for everybody, which is amazing.
I actually forgot to ask Susanna what free activities there are for.
Well, they are
adults.
taster. A lot of them are tasters.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
you can try them out. So anything that you fancy doing.
Yeah.
I've always wanted, let's just say, not me personally, but say you wanted to do art classes and there's something for you, or chemistry, or absolutely anything. It's
that's
amazing.
good to know. Yeah.
There's thousands and thousands of courses. I was looking into it, and as Susanna said, it's in the 23rd year.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing is it's actually inspired international adult learning internationally as well. So it started here, now it's international.
That's
which
brilliant,
is
isn't
brilliant.
it? It's so nice.
And I didn't realise, but it's actually part of the Festival of Learning, which is a longer expanse. It's from the 1st of May to the end of June. And Adult Learners Week is a week within that.
Oh, right, okay. So what's the Festival of
So
Learning?
the Festival of Learning is still run by NIAS, and it's got loads and loads of different subjects.
Okay.
That run into it, but it's obviously Adult Learners Week is specialised for that 1 week. But they've got the thing that they're promoting in the festival is #Love to Learn.
Okay.
So it's about the passion of learning, and you learn for different reasons, for fun, for life-changing benefits. It doesn't have to be for new work.
Well, it's one of the things that are proven
informal-
to improve your mental health as well, because when it keeps your mind busy with things.
Yeah, absolutely. Informal learning and personal development. So there's so many different things it's tied in with. And there were interesting facts as well that the Festival of Learning, well, prior to it being launched, NIAS did a survey, and we in the UK have been proved to be a very cultured wannabe chefs and musicians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can understand the chefs because you see a lot of
Yeah, I mean, that's huge.
so many programs on TV,
But
and
there are
everyone's
so
doing their own
many
little
people. I think
videos.
39% want to be chefs.
Really?
Which is high, isn't it? And if you go through the lot, everything's creative. There's nothing that's not creative. So that's interesting.
really good.
23% musicians.
What would you love to learn? Something that you haven't done already.
I would like to. I did touch on law. I know this is very different. I love learning, but I would like to take that a little bit further.
I need to think about it, because Susanna was talking to me about it earlier, and I was like, I couldn't think. I mean, I like to do different things all the time, like, go to different restaurants and do different things and go to different places. I love doing that, but to actually learn something. I haven't really thought of giving it much
I'm
thought.
one of these
But this is
people-
inspiring me, this show, to do that.
Good, you should do it. I always want to learn everything. But Rachel Koo, who's a top chef, is somebody who promotes Adult Learners Week. And of course, being a top chef, she's saying you actually don't need that much. It's very easy to start cooking. You don't need lots of space. You don't need all the top gadgets. Once you know that simplicity, just get on it and cook. Which is good. Joe Pasquale as well, who's a comedian and TV actor, television presenter. Quite interesting what he said. He said that the one thing he regrets is not studying earlier because he felt he was too old. He studied with Open University and studied something completely different, which was a natural sciences degree, and he loved it. And the one thing he says is, go for it. Don't wait. You're never too old.
It does something
you
to
can
your
just
confidence.
learn.
It really does.
Yeah, absolutely. And what with cuts, I know Susanna mentioned it, George Osborne trying to save 450 million, and unfortunately saving it on the adult skills budget, not so good. And the FE Week newspaper said that by 2020 there may not be any courses, adult education courses. So don't wait. Do it now.
Go for it before it's too late.
Go for it. Absolutely. Having a look at some of the courses, it's interesting because Susanna mentioned about going online, and one of the things that stood out for me was the Silver Surfers course. And Silver Surfers is for older people. And Branson's always promoting the fact, well, it's not just Branson, it's everyone. Obviously, you know, social media, and we're in this digital age, and nobody can learn quick enough, really. And we've got to all keep up with it, everybody, for everything, for the economy, for our own self-need, etc. And there's 13% of the public that have never ever used anything, any kind of digital or a computer or anything like that. But 75% of that percentage are over 65. So the silver, I didn't explain what it is. So Silver Surfers is for older people doing computer skills.
Okay. I'll explain this later. When you said about surfing, I had the actual and I just remembered that is something that, sorry, I know it's completely different, but I just remember that is something that I would really love to learn to do, surfing. Is to surf, because I love the sea. But more on that later. That's not the kind of surfing that Helena was talking about, because we've got to go to a break.
Have we?
Yeah.
Such a shout. It's a really cute story, but never mind.
Oh, can you take me 10 seconds?
It was just about Silver Surfers. Judith Law, 81, John Humphreys, 84. They met each other via, it's digital, via a dating site, got married, and, you know, if they hadn't have studied on the course,
they wouldn't have found each other. There you go,
they
another reason. Love. Helena, thank you so much.
Thank you,
we'll see you again next time.
See you.
Thank you. All right, so up next we have marketing and business growth expert Monica Abraham from Local Line Marketing. So don't go away.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back, and if you've just joined us today, we're celebrating Adult Learners Week, which is on from the 13th to the 19th of June 2015. Now, there are many people out there who'd like to go back to school and take up a course, but might be too intimidated to do so because they feel they can't keep up with the young ones. Well, there are lots of initiatives around the world that have catered to this need. So an example of this is the Adult Learning Academy, St. Louis Community College in Missouri, USA. Let's take a look at this.
What the Adult Learning Academy does, in my opinion, is it takes a learner who really wants to be able to say, I want to do this at my pace, I want to do it as quickly as possible, I want to do it outside of a traditional structure, and it gives them the opportunity to do that in an environment that really encourages learning and focuses on them and their own ability to succeed.
When a student comes into the ALA, they are pre-tested, first of all, and we find out where they are.
We know that there are students who place into developmental classes who can actually thrive and progress very quickly if they're simply given the materials.
I think there was a need for the ALA because a lot of students have very specific career goals and they know what they want to do. They're very goal-driven, but they might not be quite college ready, maybe just in one subject like math. And so we need the ALA to get them to that point where they're college ready for their math or their English or their reading.
We needed a delivery system that would allow students to work at their rate, to master things before they went on to something else.
In other classes, you're working, I guess, at the pace of everybody in the class, where this gives you an opportunity to work at your own pace.
You ain't got to rush through anything. And if you do miss something, they will make sure you go through the whole thing without missing anything.
I think the greatest benefit is that they don't feel like they're tied into a class. They're learning everything. They're able to learn 3 different ways. They can watch by video, they can learn the book, and then they also get that one-on-one attention from different staff members.
One of my favorite parts of the ALA is how much time we're given with direct student interaction. So I spend most of my days dealing individually with students, which is, like many teachers, the best part of the job.
Instead of being in a classroom setting where you have maybe 30 students to one teacher, there were several instructors there to always answer your questions and basically take you step by step until you get it right.
The instructors are great to work with, and they do not leave their seat until they help you out, and that's the great thing about it.
Every student has a right to know, when am I going to need this? Why am I doing this? What is the point? We don't want things to be just hoops to jump through, so that's why we contextualize. We don't want that question to constantly come up, and it doesn't come up in the ALA. Everything that they do is directly related to what they will be doing on a job.
In a sense, they're learning to operate within their career area before they actually begin their employment. And so that, I think, helps just give them some resources to continue to build on, gives them a foundation to build on.
The exercises, the lectures that they gave are very on, like hit the nail on the head for the medical program. A lot of the reading that we do had to do with the medical program, so we're getting it advanced into the training.
I think the contextualization helps students to be more interested in the subject matter and more motivated. They kind of see what they're going to be doing in their career. They see the importance of, why do I need to understand these proportions or these fractions? Well, because you're going to be using it when you're out there on the job.
The Adult Learning Academy is such an important part of the Mo Health Wins program because it really does prepare students in a number of ways. When I'm talking with students, I do let them know all the benefits they're going to receive from doing the Adult Learning Academy. One, I believe it does prepare them to take our accelerated workforce training programs in CNA, patient care tech, and medical assistant.
We are seeing success in students who would not necessarily have been successful in a regular traditional classroom. It's so exciting to see a student say, it has been 20 years since I've been in a classroom and I didn't think I could do it. And they're finding it, yes, they can do it.
So many of our students fall through the cracks. And so programs like the ALA are necessary to reach students who otherwise would not be reached. The best part about this is how empowered students are in a system like this. They know that they have control over their own future.
If you apply yourself and listen to your instructors, you can do it. I mean, I'm living proof of that.
Anyone thinking that they've taken the compass test and they don't feel good enough or have any doubts about it, please don't fear. Come right on into ALA and you will be successful.
Thank you very much. And right now, marketing and business growth expert Monica Abraham from Local Line Marketing joins us. Hello, Monica.
Hi, Chrissy. Thanks for having me here today.
It's very good to have you here because you're going to inspire our viewers, especially our older viewers.
Absolutely.
Or should I say more mature viewers? It's the same thing. On, getting back into business. First of all, tell us a bit about what you do and how you got into it yourself.
So basically, I've got my own company, Local Line Marketing. I've been working in sales and marketing for the past 10 years. So after 10 years, I really wanted to help smaller businesses to grow their businesses because I saw that a lot of the big corporate companies had a lot of finances and they had different teams to grow their businesses, whereas smaller business owners, they had to they had to do the marketing themselves, they had to look after the staff, the HR, and marketing is very, very simple if you really look at it. It's about helping your customers and making sure that you can add value to them. And for each business, if you just put certain steps in place, it's very simple and very easy for them to achieve the goals that they want to. So that's what I do.
All right, okay. So now talking about sort of the older generation, what are maybe from what you've come across, some of the concerns they may have about starting their own business? Because maybe it's a dream that they've had for years. Maybe like someone has, in case of some women, maybe they had kids, they weren't expecting kids so early and then they kind of put everything on hold. But now kids are sort of gone, now they want to start. What are the kind of concerns about starting?
I think one of the main concerns with the mature generation starting their own businesses is that they don't actually have, the technological experience, like with the social media, with all the technology. I mean, all we need to do is go to work in the morning and we see everyone on their iPads, we see everyone on their iPhones, and they're concerned that they don't really fit in, or they're not really going to be able to start their businesses or have the experience
to do it.
Yeah, the actual experience to do it. So the advice that I would give to more mature individuals who want to start their own businesses, look at what you actually want to do. It doesn't matter if you've got children. It doesn't matter if you're, more of a mature age. I would definitely say, number one, definitely look at what you like doing. Maybe it's, sewing, or you like cooking. Make sure that you start small is a very, very huge thing. You start small. For instance, let's just say that you bake cakes and you love baking cakes. Take your cakes and take it to like a fair, like an indoor market, and sell the cakes. Take it to your friends and family for testers, for tasters, so they can see what they.
In effect, you've actually started your business there if you're already taking it to places and selling it to a few people here and there. You've started already, haven't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. And a lot of one of the mistakes that I see people doing is they invest so much money in the beginning before they actually have a market. So they say, well, I'm going to invest, £20,000 here, £10,000 here. And people have saved so much money and they've put it into the business, and they found out, it doesn't work, or nobody's buying our product and service. But if you start small and you end up, if you start small and you can test your product or your service, you can really make sure that people actually want it and will pay money for it.
That is a good idea, and I think also that point you gain confidence, especially when you see people sort of, for example, going back to the cakes example, because I like cakes. Going back to the cakes example, if people, you see people eating your cakes, liking your cakes, being willing to pay for them, that kind of gives you a boost as well to keep going. Absolutely. And just before you go, do you have any other quick top tips for the older generation when starting before you go?
My really top tips is, I know that a lot of people don't really feel confident about their age, or they think, there's so many different young people, but my really top tip for them is to look at the skills that they have already and look at bringing it into the marketplace, because the marketplace will pay for value, and the marketplace doesn't care if you're old, you're young, whether you're black, you're white, it doesn't matter, it pays for value. So look at how you add value to your clients and your customers.
I think older people, like we were talking about earlier, when you do go into a shop, and I mean, some of the youngsters are great, but I actually sometimes prefer speaking to someone that's more mature, because I don't know, they just seem to have a different knack for dealing with customers.
Absolutely, and they've got more
that's a lovely
experience
skill.
as well. They've got more experience.
They seem to have more time for you. I don't know. Of course, I'm not saying the youngsters don't, because there are many that are great.
Absolutely.
But I just, I think the older generation have just got that something special, different.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, within our community, every single generation has something to add. And it's about us working together. If you're wanting to go into business and you don't know the technological side, get a younger person and partner up. You do the customer service part, let them do the Twitter and the Facebook, and come together and make a good team.
Brilliant, Monica, thank you so much. Thanks for your advice.
Thanks for having me here today, Chrissy.
So after the break, we'll have singer and Bollywood Queen Indiraa to tell us her own story of perseverance. We'll be right back.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show. And if you've just joined us, today is all about the global event Adult Learners Week. Earlier we heard what this week is all about, and now it's time to meet Bollywood Queen, who's reinvented herself time and time again on top of having to fight her own mental health struggles. We have the lovely Indiraa with us. Hello, Indiraa.
Hi there, Chrissy. Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to have you here.
Thanks.
So we're trying to inspire our viewers today, especially maybe the older generation who think, I'm past maybe 30 now and it's not worth trying anything new or going for my dreams. What would you have to say about that?
Well, my first album was called Never Too Late.
Oh.
And that was at the age of 52. 53, and I started music at 52, and my new album, 5 years ago that was, so my new album's about to come out, it's called Second Chance, so I think that says it all.
Wow, okay. Had you always wanted to sing when you were a child? Was that your dream?
They called me in some of the articles the bubble bath diva, because I started singing in the bath with my shampoo bottle, so like every other person, I fantasized about, you know, being a singer when no one was watching, you know. And Whitney Houston in the making, not. But, but no, I didn't ever think I'd go into it, because my education was completely in another direction.
What did you actually do, like work-wise and stuff?
I studied psychology and statistics, then went on to do law.
Oh wow, completely different.
And but before that, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer, which I never got anywhere close to.
So you've got quite a varied sort of interest in things, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it's called multiple personalities. Okay, kidding.
It's good to like a lot of things. In that case, I'm the same, because I like a lot of different things as well.
I know, you know, we've all got different facets anyway to our personalities, and just different.
Now, Indira, it must have been quite like a, well, I don't know if it was, maybe you can correct me here, but maybe a daunting kind of experience when you first started to sort of get into the singing? Or was it something that you thought, you know what, now is the right time, I'm going to just jump head in? What was it like for you?
It was not at all the easiest thing, because I was told that the easiest way to get into music was go into the dance world. And of course, as you can see, there aren't many people into dance music in their 50s. So it was a bit difficult, but I was very lucky. I did quite well in my first 3 or 4 songs that I released, and it was just good luck, I think, and something was shining down on me from up there.
Yeah.
So I think life has its course set out for you. Someone has a course set for you, and it just happens. And if you decide that it's never too late for it to happen, it'll happen. And if you're positive, I think things go your way. But if you go there thinking, oh my God, I can't do this, you know, I'm never going to look great in a leather bikini and, you know, dancing in a cage or something. So I make sure I never do it.
Now, Indira, you've had actually some difficult moments as well, because you have struggled with depression, haven't you?
That's right.
When did that all start?
That was in my 20s when it first started. But I every time I got into medication, I'd give it up when I was better. And then now I just accept it as a part of me. I take medication for it, and if I feel a little down, I go for a good 10-kilometer run, and you know, the endorphins kick in, the serotonin kicks in, and I'm fine. And then when I want to unwind, a glass of Chablis kicks in, and I'm pretty good that I can unwind.
But it must be quite hard to sort of get on with things when you are feeling low. Because I remember when I was feeling low, I didn't feel like doing anything. Not even sometimes even taking a shower in the morning was really hard.
It is. Everything is like this huge mountain you can't climb. Even getting out of bed is a huge mountain. But I was once told by somebody that there are 2 ways of looking at life: saying, "Good God, it's morning," or "Good morning, God." And I've decided for the last 7 or 8 years, I just decided I was going to say, "Good morning, God." And that's how I've been since then. That's a nice way of looking at it,
really nice.
Well, there's only one way, otherwise, you know.
So how are things going then with the singing? Because you said you have a new album coming out, a new song coming out.
Yeah.
How busy does it keep you?
All the time, because the new album had 10 songs to it now. So, you know, it was all writing them, because I write my lyrics.
So you write everything yourself?
I write my lyrics myself, yeah. Okay. And then it was the production, and then my big happy moment was going to Abbey Road to have it mastered, and, you know, the Holy Grail. And I love my music, and I love writing songs. And you know, when I'm down, I write pathetic, sad songs that make me, you know, cry. And then, you know, you see someone very gorgeous walking by, and you write an inspiring song. And then you think,
so you just write about anything, then, don't you?
No, if you're in a good mood, and, you know, you can write about food, anything really, at Marks and Spencer's.
Oh, I like that one. I'd sing a song about food, I would. Well, actually, I dance when I like something.
Yeah, I saw a sign once at the service station saying buy one, get one free, and I wrote a song for Club World. Yeah, but it was about shoes and comparing buying shoes with, cougar shopping at a club. So I don't know.
That's different.
Yeah, it is, but there you go.
Now, tell me, what does your family think about what you're doing now?
I always wanted to make my mother immortal, and on my last album, I wrote a song, Mother Indiraa, and sadly, she passed away soon after that, and I think she's smiling down at me and saying, "You go, girl." And
was she always supportive
of anything and everything I did?
That's lovely when you have someone that supports you.
Even when I was a terror. So, in my teen years, I was really, everything I was told to do, I'd do the opposite. So
you wouldn't think it, would you? Everybody.
No, I mean, I
so calm and quiet.
This is it. Everyone looks at me and says, "Who you know, never."
So what about future plans, Indiraa? Do you have any other dreams apart from continuing with the singing? Can you tell us about future?
Yeah, I want to write a song for a movie, and I want to win an Oscar for that. A few Grammys would be nice before that. Yeah. No, I'm not even joking. Seriously, I keep thinking that if I could have one great song that would be taken up for a movie, that would be nice. The lyrics. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to sing it, they can get a real singer.
I love her.
No, it's true, I don't have the right name, but I've written one song on my new album called Rock Guru, and it's for someone I idolize, my rock guru, Bryan Adams. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I tried stalking him for about 27 years, but it didn't work. So I decided to write a song instead.
So, well, you never know.
So it would be nice if I could sort of, I don't know, anything like that. If that could be a big hit, a number one would be nice.
Okay. Now, I have to ask you, why are you known as a Bollywood queen?
Well, because my first song was done with 3 of the best-known Bollywood artists in India at the time, and I wrote it in English. Yeah. And they agreed to sing with me.
How did that feel for you?
So they did a part in Hindi, and it was like and the part one of them sang was "This Girl Will Be Famous." Yeah. And my part was "I'm so hot, I'm a Bollywood queen."
Oh, that's really nice. So Indiraa, just for the benefit of viewers at home that are maybe not even mature viewers, but they just kind of feel a bit stuck and they're thinking to themselves, I don't think I'll bother trying because I don't think I'll make it. I don't have enough confidence in myself. What would you say to them?
Confidence is something no one can teach you. I used to be very overweight and I had no confidence, and I believe that I had to look at myself and say, I'm going to change and be confident. Mm-hmm. And I can only say one thing: it is never too late. And I've only finished 57 years of my life. I've got loads to go. So
that's good.
It's never too late.
Okay, so just to remind our viewers, the name of your song that's
coming out is Waiting.
Waiting, okay. Yeah. And
so,
what's that about? Like, can you give us a few hints?
Obviously, it's about waiting, mushy love song, and I'm waiting for her. But I just released 2 back to back, and one was Yo-Yo with an artist, Maxi Priest, who's a reggae artist, and then following that, following that, I've done Waiting, and then I'm going to launch them out one after the other.
Great.
Hit you with it one after the other until you say, okay, you're an artist. We got it. You're an artist.
That's great. Indiraa, so lovely speaking. I love your energy.
Thank you.
Love the energy.
I don't think many people will agree with you. I wear out everybody. It's like,
before you go, your website as well.
It's Indiraa.com, www.indiraa.com.
Thank you, my darling. It's been lovely speaking to
you. It's been great. Thank you.
Lovely. All right. So after the break, I'll be giving you my own tips on getting back into the right frame of mind to go back to studying or to try something new. And that's going to be with the wonderful Coach Chris Browne. So stay tuned.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to today's show where we are celebrating Adult Learners Week starting tomorrow. And now Coach Chris Browne joins me here to talk about this great week, this great event.
It's a brilliant event because it's going to encourage a lot of people to actually get back out there and do something. I mean, it's got me buzzing as well. Just hearing what your guest was saying, I thought, do you know what? I'm sure there's lots of things I still want to learn.
Like? Give us
do you
an
know
example.
what? I'll tell you something. I just thought about it in my head. Both my wife and myself said, wouldn't it be great if we could just both learn the piano?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be great. I know there's something that's...
Was that something from childhood or just something that's come up in your more mature...
No, it's something I always liked, my mature side,
Yeah.
Right, no, it's something I've always liked actually, but I never got around to it. I did, I started learning, but didn't get around to it. But there's other things I like to learn.
Really?
I enjoy learning. I must devour a book a week or something like that, you know.
Really? Gosh,
Yeah.
I don't.
Crazy, isn't it?
I really, do you know what? I've still got the surfing in my head.
You know?
Because I saw that I was in Bournemouth last week and I saw these surfers and
Right.
it just, I've always loved watching surfers and everything, but I think I'd really love to, but I'm just not really, I'm not good at balance at all.
You're joking?
So I think it's because I'm scared of hurting myself. I suppose if it's in the water, it's fine.
Yeah. That's really strange because you do all these challenges and I think when I saw you climbing up that rock and I thought,
Yeah,
oh,
that
you're
I was okay, but anything like roller skating or anything like that, I'm rubbish.
But in the sea?
But I might try, I think I'll have to try. I'll have to speak to my producer to let me try surfing.
That'd be good.
But shall we go to the tips now and stop
Let's go
talking?
then.
All right, so let's go to our tips, which are about what?
We're talking about adult learning.
Adult learning. Oh yes, how to get
Adult
into
Learning Week.
it's about how to get into the right frame of mind if you do want to get back into learning or to start something new. So the first one is, do not expect it to be a breeze because it probably won't be. So you probably might find it overwhelming at first and you can't maybe get your head around many subjects, especially if it's someone that's actually going back to studying. Subjects might be really daunting for you and feels like you're not getting it. But you really have to kind of expect it not to be easy, because if you kind of expect it to be easy and then you come across these challenges already, you're going to be like, oh, do you know what, I can't do this, and you'll probably drop out. So, don't think as quitting as an option, because it shouldn't be. Yeah, you are going to find it difficult probably at first. But I'll give you an example actually. I have a friend of mine, she was made redundant from one job.
Okay.
And she started another one. She got a job pretty quickly. And she was quite afraid, fearful of starting this new position. And it's like she kept telling me, I don't understand anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I said, well, how can you be there working and you don't know what you're doing? I just don't understand it. But the thing is, she was panicking. And the more she panicked, the more she wasn't getting her head around what she was actually doing. Now she's fine. It took her about maybe a few months to get into the position. But it's like she was putting a block there, a mental block, thinking that she couldn't do it just because she was panicking because it was something new.
And I suppose she was thinking more of what she can't do instead of thinking ahead of what she can do.
Yeah,
so it's going to get worse. A bit of a loop going backwards instead of forward. Yeah, that's quite tough. I mean, the other thing as well is I always remember saying about most things that you want on the other side of fear. I've said that many times before. And when you think of that, the reason why we actually don't go ahead and do these things that we really wanted to do for a long time, go back and study, do something like this, because we're thinking about the fear factors instead. Yeah. Now, we've got to start thinking in this way. Think about this, the benefits. The long-term benefits compared to the short-time fear. It totally outweighs it at the end of the day. Yeah, so put it behind and just go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so number 2 is to focus on your goal. Now, unlike school, you aren't forced to attend your new course, so it might seem really tempting to actually drop out when the going gets tough, because you might think, oh, it's not a big deal anyway, I don't really need to do this. So you really have to really want to go back to it, and you have to think of, like you're saying, what your goal actually is and why you want to do it. Keep that at the forefront of your mind all the time, because otherwise you're going to be like, oh, it doesn't matter anyway. But the thing is, if you do go back to doing something, you learn something new, it's really going to boost your confidence. So, don't take that out of your head.
And what I'd say to that is one thing, set a study goal. Once you actually set a study goal, you've got a purpose and you've got a reason. And when we saw a purpose and a reason, we're talking about an overall goal. Something that will motivate you to make sure I do get to the end of that. Set a purpose.
Okay, number 3 is to be open-minded. Now, things might not be the way they used to be, and methods of learning may be different nowadays, but don't be stuck in your ways and try to instead move with the times. So you can actually have fun learning new things.
Oh, yes.
Like my mum, for example, she's in her early 60s now, and she's only just learned how to use the internet.
Oh wow!
And she got herself a little iPad, and you know, she's really good at it now. I was really shocked because the first day when I was trying to show her everything, she was like, she didn't know where to press. It was like taking so long. I was getting a bit like, okay, Mum, come on. But she learnt so quickly, and she loves it now. She's sending me pictures and FaceTiming me and all sorts of things. So it's quite funny, but you know, you have to be open-minded and want to do something new.
I mean, that's quite courageous, actually. At the end of the day, when you think about all this time and you start to learn now, you know what I say to your mum? Brilliant.
Yeah,
At the end
I
of the
love
day,
my mummy.
You know, she's a great woman, I remember. Now, the other thing as well with that is you were just talking about going back to learning, and we spoke before about learning styles, the visual, the audio, the kinesthetic. And the fact that now things have changed and the way we learn is a lot better. It's not going to be as hard as it was when you was younger, honestly. Just go for it. Different methods of learning. Learn yours.
Definitely. And also, Chris, it's just like when I went off to learn how to play very hard sport. Shall we see what that was?
Okay, what is it?
Let's have a look. Well, today, everyone, I'm at the Cranford Archery Club, about to try something different. So, as we all know, outdoor activities and doing something new is very good for your mental health and well-being. So this is something I'm looking forward to. Unfortunately, it's a little bit windy today, so it's going to be a bit more difficult than it usually is, but I'll do my best and tell you how I get on. So I'm here with Colin, who's been my instructor for the day. So Colin, I've had a really good time here today, something new for me. So how long have you been into this?
I've been doing it, getting on for 30 years. I'm now 71. I started when I was, about 43. So.
And what is it that you love the most about it? What keeps you coming here and doing this and coaching people as well?
It gets you out in the summer. It gets you out in the sun when it's a nice sunny day. It's a bit windy today, but normally when it's a nice quiet sunny day, you can get a field full of archers all shooting away, enjoying themselves. Although you enter competitions, there are tournaments around, and occasionally you manage to win some medals or whatever. You're really only shooting against yourself under the conditions on the day. Because you're all side by side, all shooting away, you don't know how everybody else is doing. You don't know what the scores are until you get to the end. Then you add them up and find out who's won.
So Colin here is 71 years old, and we were actually talking about how people sometimes when they reach a certain age they slow down, but you're not doing that, are you, Colin?
Trying not to. No. If you too many people when they retire just sort of stop, and that's fatal. If you can stay active. Keep your breathing active. Do something which keeps you moving around. Archery is not very strenuous, but it does stretch your muscles. It does mean you're walking up and down. You're out in the open air, and you shoot right through the year. We shoot indoors in the winter, right through the winter. So it's a year-round sport.
And honestly, how do you think I've done today?
I think you've done very well for somebody doing it for the very first time. You are actually getting all of your arrows onto the target, even though it's a fairly short distance. Some people, even at that distance, some people struggle for a couple of dozen before they even start hitting the target.
Well, you're a great coach, I have to say. Thank you so much for a lovely day. Thank you. Hey everyone, that's the closest one that I got. And that was really, really good fun. What did you think, Chris?
That's really good. You know what you remind you of? You know that guy in Lord of the Rings? Those ones with the plaques going back and they take arrows out.
Yeah.
Knock them out.
It was great. That's good fun.
Yeah,
it's great learning something new. It's really nice.
Okay.
But let's go back to our points. We have a fourth point which says, don't worry about fitting in. Now, whether it's going back to studying or learning something new, it might feel like, you know, you're a little bit of an alien, but don't forget, many times youngsters actually enjoy the different life experiences and knowledge that mature students actually bring to discussion. So if it's learning something new, everyone was new at some point to something, weren't they? So you probably find that people are actually quite encouraging, you know, instead of you sort of worrying about fitting in, think about the people that are actually there to help you as well. They're not out to get you and laugh at you. I think especially when you go back to studying, people are really supportive.
Yeah, they are. And the thing about it is the mind. We automatically start thinking on the negative situations. But as you said, they're there to help you instead. But what it is, it's the mind. It's just a sort of safety mechanism saying, hey, be careful, back off, I'm going to run. No, none of that. Stick right there. Make some great friends.
And number 5, which is your favourite?
Number 5. Enlist a buddy. Oh yes, you know that is. And back to the same thing of being accountable, you know? Because it's funny, I've started training as well. And also, well, here's one. I've started something new as well. Got to get that in as well. I started something new. Now, I've done speaking for quite a while, but it's funny. I always think it's good to learn something more. So I went to one of these groups, which is Toastmasters, and it's Toastmasters.
Toastmasters, okay.
Toastmasters, right? Okay, and it's funny because you meet a lot of new people as well, and it's so true. Buddying up. One of the guys just always emails, talks, and keeps you going. Keeps you going when you think, oh, I'm not going to go now. Keeps you going. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it does.
Get a buddy.
Get a buddy that's in the right frame of mind. Right, because that's very important. Someone that's going to encourage you, someone that's going to actually not kind of agree with you if you feel like quitting.
No.
Just see what I mean? Someone that's going to push you and actually maybe not say the things that you want sometimes.
In the right way as well. Someone who's going to encourage you in a positive way, not sort of encourage you like, oh, you ain't gone yet. Oh, this, that. No, we need someone. It's good to get a buddy anyway, isn't it?
Definitely. Thank you very much, Coach Chris Browne.
Pleasure, Chrissy.
And if you want more information about Chris, you can visit his website, coachchrisbrowne.com. Is that right? Great. Okay, we'll see you again next time. Alrighty, so unfortunately, guys, that's all we have time for today. So if you have a story to tell us, please do fill in the form on our website, chrissybshow.tv, and send that to us. And also let us know your thoughts on this subject, or send us your pictures and videos of your Adult Learners Week events by tweeting us at Chrissy B Show or commenting on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We have a new account, and that's Chrissy B Show. So I hope you've got our message tonight that it's never too late to learn something new. Maybe study a new course, start a new hobby, or even follow your lifelong dreams, whatever the age. I really hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.